Hello and welcome. My name is Cameron Ure, and in this video we are going to be doing the part 2 of how to save your clients and deals in this market with interest rates when they have a financial objection. If you haven't seen this video right here, go back and watch that one first. It is the rough draft of what I am about to give you. I'm going to go over the equation, the math, the whole process of how to break down a financial objection that you're getting as a real estate agent. There are so many times my students are coming to me saying, hey, I don't know if it actually financially makes sense for my clients to move right now because of the market. And in this video, I'm going to debunk that for you and show you how you can walk your clients through exactly how they may make more money moving right now than waiting to move in the future when interest rates come down. So stay tuned and listen through this entire video so you know the entire process of how to do this for your clients. Okay, everyone, so let's dive into how to actually do the math to show your clients what it looks like to save or make money in the market right now. We're going to take a look at their first house, or this would be their current house, and what the value is. So by talking to this homeowner, you want to be asking what their equity is. So for this example, we're going to say this person's equity is $150,000. So for example, their current value of their home is going to be $500,000, and they owe roughly $350,000. So their equity is right here. This is an important number. Don't hate on me for my chicken scratch. Obviously, this is really hard to do on the computer. So with $150,000, that is what we're going to work off of. This is extremely important to know because this is going to set us up for the next part of this equation. We're then going to ask the homeowner what other debt do they have that they're currently paying on monthly. Before I do that though, we got to come back here. What's their current payment? What this is let's say it's $1,800 a month, okay? So all your prospects are saying, it's so expensive, I have no idea how I'm going to buy another house and have such an expensive mortgage when I move and level up, or whatever they say. With that being said, you can then just come over here and say, okay, what other debt do you have? We'll start writing it out. Car, credit card, and loans. Okay, let's say this person has those three. The average U.S. American has roughly $5,000 in debt for credit cards. Say this person has $60,000 owed on cars, which comes out to $800 a month in car payments. This comes out to $200 in credit cards, and then let's say they have $30,000 in student loans, which is now, let's say, $250. So this in total, if we were to add this up, is $95,000, or an extra $1,250 a month in payments on top of their mortgage. We're only talking about fixed expenses right here, and this is why this is important, is because when you get into house example 2, say they want to buy a $700,000 house. This is going to be kind of their forever home, and this is what they want to get into. With the future payment on this house being a rough number of $3,500 a month. Obviously, this isn't exact math. You can use a mortgage calculator to break that down of really what that would be, but this is how the numbers are going to work out. Once you see this full financial picture, you're able to say, okay, we have the $150,000 in equity, we have $95,000 in debt, and we have an extra $1,250. So in total, what this person is paying on a monthly basis is $3,050, okay? So this person is going to be paying an extra $450 maybe a month if we take all of this and pay it off with their equity. This is called debt restructuring, where if you're able to take somebody's equity, pay off their debt, add this payment to their affordability, which they can now afford $3,050 a month for their mortgage with no other debt. So a lot of people are thinking, man, if I have to add a $3,500 mortgage on top of my $1,250 in debt a month, there's no way I can afford that. But if you then say, well, no, hey, what if it was only $450 more a month, yet you were completely debt free? All you had was your mortgage, and you still had $55,000 to put as a down payment. That's the difference from $95,000 to $150,000 in equity. Obviously, there's fees in here. Let's just, for the example's sake, say this is what it comes out to be. So now in the next section, we're going to go over that if they get this payment and it's only $450 more, how it can still actually be beneficial to move sooner and save them money. Okay, so now that we've talked about how we can potentially restructure their debt so their payment is either equal, if not maybe a little bit more than what they're already paying on the monthly basis from a total debt standpoint, we're going to talk about how we can show them how actually moving sooner could potentially save them money. For example, let's say that $500,000 house, like we were talking about, and the $700,000 house, and they were wanting to wait 2 years. This $500,000 house, for example, a 5% only appreciation rate over 2 years would equal $50K in appreciation. The $700,000 house over 2 years at 5% appreciation would be, what is that, $70K, right? So that right there is $20,000 in potential savings just right there. We're just in the appreciation aspect. If they were to get into this house earlier, they'd make $20,000 more from appreciation. Now moving on to a refinance standpoint, say they went from a 6.5% interest rate down to a 4% interest rate in 2 years. This is now going to save them hundreds of dollars on their mortgage payment, and it's going to make the situation even better, where potentially now their mortgage in the previous scenario is actually less than what they were already paying on a monthly basis. And this is where the great deal aspect comes into play. People don't understand that when interest rates come down, the market explodes. Everybody wants to go buy a house because rates are good, and then prices shoot to the moon. So if this scenario happens where rates come down and prices go up, their appreciation over here just got way better. So they're now making more money from the appreciation side of things. But not only this, let's say on that $700,000 house right now that's sitting on the market for 50 days, we were able to get it for $675. And so that is a killer deal. And say we got on top of that $10,000 in closing costs paid by the seller. This is now totaling to over, what is that, 45 plus, that's $55,000 in potential savings by moving sooner rather than later, while having a tiny bit higher or the equal payment on their current mortgage. So hopefully that whole walkthrough was understandable. I apologize for the chicken scratch writing of mine, but this math equation and this process is extremely powerful if you can sit down at a table with your prospect, go through the entire math, and show them exactly how you can help them save or make more money by making a decision to move now rather than later. If you haven't seen my prospecting videos of how to knock doors and actually set appointments to go over this type of math with your clients, check out this playlist of how to knock doors, and I'll see you in the next video.